Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today in this video I am cutting my beauty blender in half. Oh, this was so hard to do. I've already filmed this, so I've already cut my beauty blender in half and now I'm filming my intro. It was so hard to do, you guys. It was like I've spent 20 bucks on this stupid sponge and I'm now cutting it in half. I have learned, if you're just tuning in, hi, welcome. Don't cut your sponge in half when it's wet and like all squishy and bulbous. Do it when it's small and hard, because then you can get a clean cut. Honestly, I wish I had done this with a knife, like a Cutco knife, and just gone in and like sliced it perfectly. That's what I should have done instead of scissors, because the way I cut my sponge turned out a little wonky, as you guys will see, but it still worked. So even if you're terrible at cutting things, there's still hope for you. Anyways, you guys, I don't know if I've actually made an intro or just talked to you guys about sponges for about a minute, but I'm so excited for you guys to see this video. It was so much fun to film, really cool to do this hack and see if it works, and spoiler alert, I was really impressed with this and we'll be doing this again. Like, we'll be using my destroyed sponge again. It's the coolest. Anyways, I hope you guys stick around by subscribing, and without further ado, let's get into me destroying a beauty blender sponge thing. Okay, roll footage. Okay, so I'm just putting my primer on my face, and this is being so gross in the way I'm putting this on my face too. This is the Becca First Light Priming Filter, and I'm just putting it on my skin to give me a little bit of a glow, a little hydration. My skin has been weird, y'all. Like, it's been really good ever since I've started being a lot more serious about my skincare and really using and finding products that are working for me. But because I'm using a balancing oil on my skin has been a lot less oily, and I feel like it just needs a little extra boost of hydration with my makeup products, if that makes sense. So my skin on its own is perfectly fine, but it just needs a little more. And so I've been loving this primer because it's super hydrating. It feels so nice on the skin, and it has just a really nice texture, and it's a really good base for makeup on top of it. While that is soaking into my skin, we're gonna destroy my beauty blender. I'm so scared about this. I'm going to triple check that my camera is filming, and then we're gonna go in with scissors and destroy this thing for the sake of a YouTube video, which hopefully will be worth it. Alrighty, let's do this. So this is my beauty blender. You guys see it? It looks super clean right now because I just washed it, so it's all like warm and squishy, and I probably should have cut it in half while it was dry, but we're going in. Do you guys want to see this? I'm so scared. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is like a $20 sponge. Ah! Okay. We did it. So this isn't the best cutting job I've ever done, but here is my sponge now. It's all cut. It's our flat sponge. It's not super flat. I didn't do a perfect job cutting this, but that's okay, right? So I've seen this trick all over Instagram, all over YouTube, and it supposedly does a better job blending out your foundation and your concealer. So we're gonna go in with concealer, we are going to blend it out, and we're going to bake. Those are the two things that we're gonna test out, see how it goes. I'm applying a little bit more concealer than I usually do in my videos, just because I wanna see how the sponge works. I know the sponge is gonna soak up more product, and on top of that, I have been wanting a lot more coverage under my eyes recently. I just feel like I've been really tired and really stressed, and I've had really, and it doesn't come across on camera like this, but my under eye circles have just been a little bit more intense. We're going in with the sponge on the flat side, and we're gonna do this. So it feels like my same old beauty blender. Wow. Is this that much different though than a real beauty blender? This might be even better for baking because it is flat. I do feel like it's covering more surface. That's what I feel like it's doing, is it's covering more surface area under the eye by being flat. It's really shaping to the under eye, whereas the circle side of the sponge only targets the little part of the circle shape that it's touching, whereas the flat one kind of molds to your skin. So you know what? I will say that this is working because it's covering more area and it's covering as much as it did with the other Beauty Blender, but it's a lot faster. I feel like it does look smooth. Huh. So I'll just zoom y'all in. So here is what my concealer looks like all blended in. I think it looks really nice. It looks really, really nice. So now we're going to go in and bake with powder. I'm just using my Coty Airspun powder and I'm going to pick it up on the flat side of the sponge. And we're going to see what happens. Yeah, I will say, y'all, this is so much, it just covers more surface area as a flat sponge than the rounded Beauty Blender does, which is kind of cool. It's not necessarily like the biggest, most mind-blowing hack in the world, but because you have more surface area on the sponge, it's getting everything done much quicker, more efficiently, and I think that's why it looks so smooth, is you're not just blending one specific area, you're really spreading the product out really nicely. So I think the flat sponge is actually a really good hack. I'm also going to go in and bake my forehead a little bit, just because I feel like it's looking kind of oily. And this will just keep me matte. And I wanted to look kind of crazy in this video. I haven't baked in a long time. Alright, now we wait. Okay, so it's been about 3 minutes. I'm going to just wipe off this bake using an e.l.f. blush brush. I love this one for wiping away bake. I switch between a couple of brushes, but this one's really nice because it is just fluffy enough that it doesn't really pick up too much product and it kind of fluffs it all over the face, but it's dense enough that it actually can tug the product away. Not tug the product away, but you know what I mean. So that looks really nice. I wouldn't say it necessarily looks different than when you use a regular sponge. I think I'm really struggling with this because I do think the flat side, I mean, does this look flat to you guys? It looks like a mess because I can't cut things. I'll try cutting my next one when it's dry and not wet. That was probably a mistake on my part. But I wanted it to be like clean for this video. I messed up. But I think the flat side covers more surface area, so when you blend the product, it's not so focused on one tiny little bit. They end up picking up product and it looks kind of chunky and patchy. I feel like this just kind of spreads the product really nicely. Same with the powder. So the flat side of the sponge is a really, really good hack. I definitely think it's awesome. My makeup doesn't look any different than it would if I had just used the sponge regularly, but it applied easier, it was quicker, it looked way more even. I only had to go in once, and it was probably the easiest concealer application I've ever had with a sponge, honestly. I feel like it just perfectly distributed the product, and I think it's because I had that flat, higher surface level sponge. So that's really, really cool, and I really appreciate that. I'm not gonna say go buy a beauty blender and spend 20 bucks and cut it in half, but find a sponge you like, whether it's the Beauty Blender, the Real Technique sponge, the sponges from Eco Tools. Find a sponge that is, or the Morphe sponge, whatever, any sponge. Find a sponge that works for you and maybe try this out. Maybe try it out with a cheaper sponge and see how it works. Because you know those classic little white triangle sponges that have that flat end? Those are really, really nice for concealer because they're flat and they have kind of a wide surface area. What's nice about the Beauty Blender though is it's not as stiff as those, and it has a little bit of give, and so the flatness actually shapes itself to the curves of your face as you go under the eye, which is really, really nice. You don't get that from a stiffer sponge. So find a nice soft sponge that you can cut in half and try this with, because I would definitely recommend it. It's really cool. I'm gonna go finish the rest of my face makeup and we'll be right back. Alrighty y'all, thank you so much for watching and letting me finish my makeup. I was actually filming a tutorial on this eye look, which is always really fun. I love getting to do that on my channel because it's really exciting to be like, be right back, I'm gonna have all my makeup on, and then I'm like, whew, and I feel glamorous and good, and it's awesome. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I also wanted to let you know that I did use my sponge for going in with my Flexitarian highlight as well as my cloud paint from Glossier, and it blended so nicely. I'm sorry I didn't film it. I was honestly just kind of playing around with it and then started blending it out, and I was like, crap, why am I not filming this right now? But if you want to see any other videos of applying the sponges and all that stuff, let me know. I am doing a full face of Glossier Cloud Paint for eyeshadow, blush, and lips. So that's coming soon, and I'll probably reincorporate the sponge so that you guys can see it. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. To see more videos from me, just click right here, subscribe by clicking my face, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, y'all. Now I have to find the other half to make this thumbnail. Is this the other half? Here we go. All right, and pose.